So hello everyone, welcome to Salesforce Start. Okay. So today we'll discuss. In the last class already we discussed how we can pass data from parent to child component. Okay. So already we discussed how we can use our attribute to pass data and all. Okay. So today we can use our method to pass data from parent to child component. Okay. So what is our method? First we'll discuss about our method. So our method is nothing but we can create one method in the child component. Okay. And we can perform action in the child component itself. Okay. Then we can call that method in the parent component, and we can call that method. You can pass parameters to the child component, whatever you want to pass. Okay. So here we'll discuss some important points. Share some other points you can see. So use our method. It's a component API. So in the method, in the component level, we can create one method using our method. We can create one method. That method will you can give method name, and we can give like a method action. Okay, and you can give method description. Some attributes are there that we have to define in the method level, component level. Okay, so by using our method directly, you can call child component method, and you can pass data to the child component. So the benefit here is you don't need to use events. So for example, if you use the events, we have to register the events, and we have to fire the event, and we have to register handle the event. So that is not required. You can directly call and you can pass the data using our method. So that is the one benefit you can use if you use the RA method. Okay. So in the RA method, there are like mainly 4 attributes are there. So first you have to give the method name. What's the method name you want to use? Okay. And action in the expression, in the expression, the JS controller, you can call that method and we can get the parameters, all those things. And you want to access like a public or global. If you want to access this component everywhere, you can use a global also. And you can give some description about your method, why you are writing this method and all those. Okay. So these are the like mainly 4 attributes. So in the RA method, you can declare only attributes only. You cannot write any other code. Okay. In the RA method, inside the method, we can declare only params, or you can say only attributes. Apart from attribute, you cannot create any other components, anything. Apart from this, we cannot add any other tags and all those things. Okay. So we'll create one sample or a method component, child component, and then we can pass data from the parent component. We can see. So I'll create a new component. For example, I can give name equal to child component 002. Okay. And click a submit. Okay. So just I will add some comments. So in the comments, I can just enter the component name. Okay. So then what I will do is we'll create a one method inside the component. Okay. So we have how to create a method. So we have a method called or a method. Okay. Using or a method, we can create a method in the child component. Okay. Inside this method, so here mainly we have 3 attributes. One is name. You can give the method name, and other one is we can give the action, what you want to perform, what on the JS controller, what you actually want to perform, and you can give an access. Like this component you want to access inside all the lightning components, you can give just public. Okay. And if you want to give some description about this one, you can give description. Okay. For example of aura method. Okay. So these are the like mainly 4 attributes we have in the aura method tag component. For example, method name, I can give like a child component method, child component method. Okay. And action, like I want to call some JS controller, right? So we can get the message from JS controller to here. We can get the message and we can display in this component. I'll give method name equal to get message, or you can say invoke, whatever you might do. Okay. Just click a save. So this is like just have declared method. So if you want to pass data, how we can pass data? We have to use the parameters, right? So similarly here we have to declare the attributes. So our attribute I can give, for example, name equal to child message. Okay, and I'll give a type is equal to string. Okay, otherwise I can declare only just simple. To make it simple, I can give like a param one, type is equal to string. Okay, so just I have created one method name. Okay, so this method name we can call from the parent component. Once you call this method, what action you want to do, okay, that we can declare in JS controller, and this method equal to public. This is description. Just I can give a controller. The controller what you want to perform. Okay, so whenever you can call this method, okay, whenever you call this method from the parent component, automatically it will call the JS controller. So in the JS controller, you can just get the parameters, whatever the parameters you want and all, you can get all the parameters. Okay, so how we can get the parameters here? So we have variable params equal to, so event dot get param. Okay, just to click here we have to give the arguments. Okay, here we can give the arguments. So what this line will do is we will get the methods parameters. Okay, what are the parameters you have declared? That parameters you can get here in this JS controller. So variable params event dot get param. So what this event dot get param will do? This is like a static syntax. Okay, this will be fixed. Okay, if you want to get the parameters from this, for example, how many parameters we have here? Only one parameter we have, right? If you want to get this parameter, okay, so what is the syntax we have to use? Variable params event dot get params. Okay, so you are getting that parameter. So currently there is no value for this value, right? So this is like a default. I am not giving anything. So this is empty value now. So why I am giving empty? So I will pass data from the parent to this child method. So that time I will assign that whatever the value I'm passing from the parent, that value I will assign to this param one. Okay, that's why I'm currently giving empty value. Okay, once you get this params, okay, you can check if any params are there, params is not equal to null. Okay, so you can get the params here. Just like this type, for example, variable param one equal to params dot. How many parameters we have here? How many parameters we have? We have only one parameter. You can call that parameter here. Okay. So whatever the value we are assigned to this param, whatever the value we are assigned to this param, that value will be available in this this variable. Okay. So just for testing purpose, I'll give you alert to what we are passing. So what value we are passing to this param one, what value we are passing to this param one from parent, that I'll get here. I'll show you alert message here. Okay. So then return param one. Return param one. Okay, if it is a value, it will return. If there is no value, we can return null. Okay, so this is just simple method. Okay, I have created a child component. Okay, so in the child component, just I have declared method. I will call this method from my parent component. Okay, so whenever I call this method from parent component, okay, it will call this invoke action. Okay, so from parent component, I will call this method. I will pass some parameter here. So whenever pass parameter here, so it is calling invoke action. So in the invoke action, whatever the parameters I'm passing from the parent, that values will get in these params. So then just I'm assigning that params to the some variable. Just I'm showing alert message. So like that I'm passing data from parent to child. So I'm returning that parameter. Just I have created a child component, or you can say child component. I have declared a aura method. Okay. So where we have to call this method now? We have to call this method in the parent component. If you want to call this method from the parent, so I will get one more component called lightning component. I'll give name equal to parent component 002. So from this component, I'll call the aura method. Okay. Okay. So this is a parent component. So I want to pass one attribute, right, to this one. So that's why I'll declare one attribute. Okay. Otherwise, even you don't need to pass attribute also. You can directly pass hard-coded value also, no problem. So just I'll create a one attribute here. Name equal to, this is a parent message. Okay. Type equal to string. Okay. I can give some default value. So I am from parent component. Okay. So just I have declared one attribute in the parent component. Now we can call child method. What is the child method name? So this one, right? If you want to call this child method from the parent, so how we can call, what is syntax? Okay. So just we have to call that child component. For example, what is the component name? Child component. And we can give some aura ID here. Okay. So using aura ID only, we can access this method from the parent JS controller, parent controller. Okay. If you want to call child component aura method, how we can call? So in the parent component, what we have to do? Just we have to call the child component and we have to give us some ID. So using this ID in the JS controller, we can get the method name and we can get the method, you can pass the parameters. Okay. So that's it. So if you want to get this method, some event need to happen, right? So I'll create one lightning button here. Lightning button. Okay. So for example, I can give button label equals to call aura method. Okay. And type, sorry. So on click, I want to call some JS controller. So C dot call child component method. What's the action I'm giving? Label equal I'm giving, and this. If you want to give some styles, you can give styles also. For example, variant equal to brand. Click a save. Okay. So if you want to give some styles, or if you want to display this button separate, just put a div tag. Okay. So here I'm displaying lightning button. Okay. I can give some message. So calling aura method from parent component. Okay, just to understand, just I'm giving some hard code, a static message here. Okay. So if you want to display this message, you can display this message here or anywhere here. It is not required. Just click a controller. So what is the action? When I want to call this method, so whenever I'm clicking this button, call aura method, I want to call this in a JS. Okay. So I want to call the method. Okay. So how we can call the method from the parent child component is, so in the parent component we have given, for child component we have given ID. So first we have, if you want to get this component, first we have to call this. If you want to get this component, first we have to get this ID. By using this ID, we can get this component first. Once we get the component, then you can call the method. How we can get this component? How we can get this component? Variable. Okay. Child component. How we can get the component? Using ID. So we have a method called component dot find. Using find, so because we are giving arrow ID, because of that ID, we will get the, what is the ID I have given? Child method. So what is what this line will do? We'll get child component. Okay. Once we get the, how we can get the child component? By whatever the ID we have given here, so we have to use that ID. So variable child component equal to component dot find child method. Okay, once we get the child component, then how we can call the method? Get method from child component. From child component. How we can get? Okay, so that you can use this child component dot method name. What is the method name I have given? The child component method. Okay, so in this method, how many parameters we have? So only one parameters we have, right? So I'll pass directly one parameter here. Directly, how you can pass parameters in the normal method? Same like that. I can pass parameter there like I am from parent component. Okay, so clear. So first we'll discuss once again topic for same thing. So first I have created child component. Just I have created one method here. Okay, and I'm doing this action and public all those things. So I'm declared one attribute here. Then in the controller, what I'm doing, whenever we call this method, so whenever we are calling this method in the controller side, what will happen? It will execute this logic. So what are the parameters we are passing? We are calling this method from the parent. So here we have only one attribute. For this attribute, I am passing data from the parent JS. Here, child component dot method name. So you have only one parameter. If you have two parameters, you can just put a comma. You can add one more parameter like this. Currently, we have only one parameter. So I'm passing only one parameter. So whatever the parameter I'm passing here, I am from parent component. So this parameter, this string will assign to the this param1. Okay. So to check that how it is assigned, it's in the controller side. You can see get arguments. We are calling this action, getting all the parameters here. So what are the param I am passing here? That I am assigned to this variable. I'm showing alert message. So whatever I am passing data here, I am from parent component. So that data will come in this alert message. So that will assign to this param1. Thus, I have assigned to the variable again. You can show. Let's test this one once again. So how we can test this one? So I'll call parent component. Okay. I'll call parent component here. I'll comment this one. Okay. So once we call the parent component, what is there? So we are calling child component, and just I'm creating one header message and one button. Only you can see this part. One button is there, one heading part is there. You can see message is there, button is there. Okay. Once we click this button, call aura method. So I am from parent component. This that how this that where this alert message is there. So this is there in the child component. Okay. That data we are where we showing alert message here. So to make it clear, for example, whatever I'm passing data to the parent to child, so that I will assign to the attribute, one attribute, so that you can understand it easily. I declare one more attribute here, name equal to, for example, I can give child message. Okay, type equal to string. Okay, so I don't have any value, just I'm not giving any default value. So what is my requirement is now, whatever the data I'm passing here, this data I want to assign to this attribute and I want to display. If you want to display, how we can display? Just we can call value provider. So v dot c message, child message. Okay, getting data from parent component. Okay, so initially it will be null. Okay, whenever you load this component, you will get a value equal to null. Okay, so how we can assign data in the JS controller? So here you are getting that value. Whatever I'm passing from the parent, that will be there in this param1. So what I can do? I will set this param1 to my child message. So component dot set. So whatever I'm passing that parent value, that I will assign to the this one. So we can assign call v dot child message. For child message, what I want to do? So whatever the data coming from the parent, this is a coming, right? So that data I'll assign to this message. Okay. So now whenever you click a lightning button, that data will come and display here. Just refresh the page. You can see getting data from parent component is empty now. There is no value here. So once you click this button, what will happen? If you click this button, what will happen? It will call the JS controller. In the JS controller, we are calling child component. And from child component, I'm calling method. In the method, I'm passing parameter. I am from parent component. What are the parameter I'm passing here? So that will come here. So what are the values there here? That value I am assigning to the this component.set child message. This is now you can see if you click message, I am from parent component, the same message that will assign to the here. You can see like this. So like this is the second way we can pass data from parent to child component. Okay. So I hope this will helps you. Okay. So we have one more way we can pass as a component data from one component other component, that is using application event. So that we can discuss in the next class. I hope this video helps you. Okay, this is like a very common interview question nowadays asking. So please go through video first one and second one. This one will discuss in the next class. Thanks everyone. Have a good day.